Hi, my name is Alex and welcome to the Crochet Circle.
In today's video, I want to show you how to make this beautiful tulip egg basket. Why tulip, perhaps you are asking yourself? Because these popcorn stitches do look like tulips in a field, and an egg basket because it's just big enough to put an egg in, so it can be an Easter egg, and then you have it on your desk and it won't roll off your desk or your table and it won't break. What you can also use the similar pattern for as well is perhaps to cozy up a jar, because the base of this basket is an increase of 6 stitches. So if you need a larger one or a smaller one, you can just make more increases or less increases depending on the size that you want. So for this exact basket, I've did 6 rounds of increases of 6 up to 36 stitches. Then I went up, did the triangles for the leaves, did the popcorn stitch for the flowers, and then this ruffly thing on top just to make it a bit more playful. Now, how I knew how much I had to do the increases, I took my measuring tape, I measured the egg, how much it is actually around. So it was 13.5 centimeters, and then when I was designing the pattern or testing the pattern, I knew I had to go up to 13.5 stitches, so the closest one was actually at 14.5. It is just a bit bigger, but that just means it's on the outside and the egg fits in perfectly. So yeah, don't forget, if you need more or less, just do more or less increases. I'm gonna begin now. So what I need is, you're probably not gonna need this plastic egg, but it's much better than dealing with a right one at the moment. So what I need is a base color. For a base color is for me white, so this will be all white. You can either have green or just in a different green than the leaves, so it will be a bit of a contrast. Now then I have the green. This is for the leaves. You're gonna see the leaves are actually just kind of triangles with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip 2 stitches, and then another V on the other side. And then I have a red one because I want to have red tulips just like on this one. So I think I can begin. Before, I just want to let you know, there will be down in the description, there will be a written pattern for it, and up here somewhere you will also see the rows that I'm making, and also perhaps a diagram for the rows with the leaves and the popcorn stitch, and of course the ruffle on top. So I have everything here on the desk now, so I can begin. I'm gonna start with the white yarn. I have my 3mm hook, and I'm gonna start with a magic ring, and in that magic ring I'm gonna do 6 single crochets. So 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm gonna close the loop up. I know some magic rings are done with just once the yarn around your finger, but I do prefer it going twice around because once you pull it tight, it doesn't slip off. Okay, I'm gonna join this with a slip stitch. Now I'm gonna do chain 1. Round number 2 is gonna be 6 increases, so that means I'm gonna do 6 times 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So here's the first increase. Well, before I do that, what I've done is I've done a chain 1 just to go up into the next row. Now I'm not gonna go into the same stitch where this chain 1 came out from, but in the next one I'm gonna do 2 single crochets. So that's 1, 2. In the next stitch 3, 4. In the next one again an increase, so that's 5, 6. In the next one 7, 8. In the next one 9, 10. And in the last one 11, 12. Now all I have to do is I'm just gonna double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 stitches. So now I have to join it with the first stitch, and now it begins when I'm gonna be pulling the slip stitch really tight. And when I'm gonna be doing a chain 1 for the beginning of the row, I'm gonna pull it really tight again, and I'm gonna then continue in the same stitch that I'm currently in. So now I'm gonna do a single crochet and an increase. Now I have to repeat that again 6 times, so that's 1, 2, 3. 4 is a single crochet, 5, 6 is an increase, 7 is a single crochet, 8, 9 is an increase, 10 is a single crochet, 11, 12 is an increase, 13 single crochet, 14, 15 an increase, 16 single crochet, 17, 18 an increase. Now I have to join it with the first stitch with the slip stitch that I'm pulling really tight, so there's no gap between the first and the last stitch. And now the next row, so I've done 1, 2, 3 rows. The next row is chain 1. Now I'm gonna do 2 single crochets and an increase, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 is an increase, 5, 6 single crochet, 7, 8 is an increase. An increase is just making 2 single crochets in the same stitch, so that's 9, 10, 11, 12 is an increase, 13, 14 single crochets, 15, 16 an increase, 17, 18 single crochets, 19, 20 an increase, 21, 22 single crochets, 23 and 24 an increase, again joining it with a slip stitch, pulling it really tight, and now up into the next row. So it's gonna be chain 1, pulling the chain 1 really tight together so it's almost not visible, and doing the first stitch in the same stitch that I'm in. So now I have to do I have to go up to 30 stitches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an increase and then 3 single crochets, again an increase and 3 single crochets. If you're wondering why I'm doing the increase first and then the single crochets, it's because I want it to kind of shift a bit, because I don't want it a hexagonal shape, I want it more round. So whenever you just shift the increase more to the left or to the right, then you get a more of a circle-y base. So I'm now on 10, 11, 12 is an increase, 13, 14, 15 single crochets, 16, 17 an increase, 18, 19, 20 single crochets, 21 and 22 an increase, 23, 24 and 25 single crochets, 26 and 27 an increase, 28, 29 and 30 single crochets. Now I'm almost at the last row. What I have to do is pull it really tight together. So I have 30 stitches now here. I have to go up to 36, but that is just for my egg, my crochet hook, my size of the yarn. If your base is big enough for your egg or for your jar or forever, you can stop now, or you can extend even more than 36. So now I'm on row number 6, and this is 6 times of 4 single crochets and 1 increase, but I'm gonna do 2 single crochets, an increase and 2 single crochets because I want the increases to be in a different position again. So that's 5, 6, and that's the first 6 done. 7, 8 single crochets, 9, 10 an increase, 11, 12 single crochets, 13, 14 single crochets, an increase for 15, 16, 17, 18 single crochets, 19, 20 single crochets, 21, 22 increase, 23, 24 single crochets, 25 and 26 single crochets, then an increase for 27, 28, 29 and 30. Now just 1, 2, an increase, and another 2 single crochets, of course. So now I have the base. What I have to do now is I have to join it with the back loop only. Why the back loop only? Because I want the front loops to make this edge. As you can see, it makes a nice edge, the front loops. So I'm just gonna be working in the back loop only. So first I'm gonna join it, pull the stitch really tight, and now for the next 4 rows I have to do 36 single crochets all the way around. So I'm gonna do chain 1, and in the back loop a single crochet, in the back loop only a single crochet, in the back loop a single crochet, and I need to do that 36 times. So I'm gonna have 36 stitches, and they are all worked in the back loop only. Please don't forget that you cannot see the edge at the moment yet, but once it will be joined and you will make few more rows, you will be able to see the edge more clearly. So I'm just doing single crochets in the back loops only, and I need this round to finish with the back loops only, and then 3 more rows of just single crochets, but the next 3 rows are worked normally through both loops. Here it is just that I want the edge to be shown, because it has to be kind of a 90-degree angle for this basket. So I'm almost at the end of this row, and it's done. It's been done in the back loops only, and now I can join it with the first stitch normally through both stitches, pull the yarn really tight together, And now continue with just single crochets. Again, chain 1, pulling it really tight, and in the same stitch I begin with the single crochet. And now I just single crochet all around. Now this is the part where you just have to count. I'm not counting, to be honest. I forgot to count, so perhaps next row I'm gonna count to 36 and just see if I still have 36 stitches. Why 36? Because I want the number of stitches to be dividable by 6, and that is just because of these petals on top here. So let's double check if I have 36 stitches around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 36 stitches all around. Now I'm gonna join it, and I need one more row of 36. So chain 1, pulling it tight and going around. When I finish this, I'm gonna be making the invisible join. And I'm gonna cut the yarn, and then I'm gonna continue with the green for the leaves. So here it's just 36 single crochets all the way around. And I'm also gonna show you again how working only on the back loops in row number 7 made the edge of the basket, but I'm gonna do that as soon as I finish with this white one till the end, when I'm gonna be joining the rounds. Okay, so this is now the last one. I can cut the yarn, pull the yarn through, and getting my needle. I do suggest that you work the tail ends as you go. So what I have to do now is go not into the first stitch, I have to go into the second one, because I'm gonna be overlaying this first stitch. So I go into the second stitch. I hope you can see it. This one was the first one. The second one, I'm going in, I'm overlaying the first stitch, and I'm going back from where I started. And as you can see, this is the join done. All I have to do now is work the loose end in. So I'm just gonna go down the work. It's all in the same color, so I don't have to worry about much. So I'm just working the tail in. I'm scooping it, just the kind of the threads of the yarn and going in, not going in completely or through because I don't want the yarn to be seen on the other side. So that's done. I can also cut the starting tail, and now the base is done. You can see the edge of why I had to do it, why you actually also had to do it. I'm just playing a bit with the light because I hope you will be able to see everything. So now I have to go and get my green yarn. Now the beginning is actually chain 3, chain 1 and then a double crochet, because the first chain 3 is actually counting as the first double crochet. So I'm gonna go in with whatever stitch you want to go in. I'm gonna do a slip stitch, and now I'm gonna do chain 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do a chain 1 and a double crochet in the same stitch that I'm currently in. So that's the first V done, or the first set of leaves. Now I'm gonna prepare the yarn and the hook for another double crochet. I'm gonna skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and in the third one in, I'm gonna do a double crochet. Now I'm gonna do a chain 1 and another double crochet in the same stitch. So I now have 2 of the V's done. Altogether it's gonna be 12 V's. So again, I'm preparing my needle for a double crochet. 1, 2, in the third stitch I'm going in, making a double crochet, chain 1, another double crochet, preparing my needle for a double crochet, 1, 2, in the third one in, make a double crochet, chain 1 and make another double crochet, preparing my needle for a double crochet. I'm 1, 2, 3 in the third one in, double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 and another double crochet, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet, 1, 2, 3, a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 and a double crochet, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and now I'm gonna hopefully have the right amount of stitches. So in the third one going in, there are 2 stitches between my current one and the first one, so that is the correct way that it has to be done, because it all works out with the numbers. So this is the last one. I'm gonna cut the yarn, pull the yarn through, and now I have to join it invisibly. So because I'm gonna be actually overlapping the third crochet the third chain of the first stitch, I'm gonna go into the fourth chain with my needle, and I'm gonna join it, and then I have to go back from where I started and pull the yarn tight. As you can see, it's overlapping the first one. So now what I have to do is work the yarn in, so I'm going down, going back up, perhaps go into the next one, just to make it a bit more secured. Again, going down the double crochet and going up the double crochet, and one more time down, and that's it. So that's the end tail done. Now I need the starting tail to hide it into the work as well. So I'm going up the crocheted chain 3 of the beginning, now I'm actually gonna go down through the same one, just getting through the different set of threads of the yarn. Now I'm gonna go into the first double crochet and up. So now I'm gonna go into the next one and down the next one. And this one is worked in as well, so I can cut it. Now I have the base for the leaves done. What I'm gonna do now is the popcorn stitch. Don't worry about it, it is not as scary as it sounds. How you do a popcorn stitch is actually 5 double crochets, then you put the loop of your hook, you rearrange the hook into the first double crochet, and then just pull it through. It's strange to explain, but hopefully you will see it much nicely and easily explained here when I'm gonna be doing the popcorn stitch on the basket. So I just go into one of those chain 1 spaces between 2 double crochets. So if that's a V, I want to go into one of those V's or into one of these triangles that I've done. I go in. So the first one is actually made with a chain 3 that counts as a first double crochet. So now I have to make 4 more double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I wouldn't have here a chain 3, I would have 5 double crochets here. So now I'm getting the hook out and I'm going into the first double crochet or in the top chain of the chain 3 here of the beginning. So I want to go through both loops here. I'm getting a grab of the loop again and pulling it through. Now I have to do chain 2 and another popcorn stitch. So it's gonna be 5 double crochets, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pulling the loop a bit off, then I'm going into the top of the double crochet. Hope you can see it, into the top one of the first double crochet, grabbing the loop and pulling it through. So that's 2 popcorn stitches done. I have to do a chain 2 and another popcorn stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pulling the loops a bit off, grabbing the top of the first double crochet, getting the loop back onto the hook and pulling it through, and chain 2. You see, it's not a scary thing to do a popcorn stitch, but the effect that it makes is just gorgeous because it does pop out and it looks like a tulip. So you see, usually the stitches shouldn't be taken off a crochet hook, but in this kind of a matter we do have to sometimes make exemptions, and it is well worth the effort of getting the loop off the hook, putting the hook into the first stitch and then joining it. So my basket is gonna have actually 12 blooms of the tulips, but if you're making a larger one, perhaps yours will have more tulips. It depends on the size that you want to make. So 5 double crochets are then joined into a popcorn stitch. And chain 2 in between. Chain 2 and another popcorn stitch. You could have made a bubble stitch here or just 5 double crochets, but it's not the same because you don't get this effect of really popping out, and flowers should always pop out. So 5 double crochets for a popcorn stitch. chain 2, and another popcorn stitch. I'm here at the last one. Now 5 double crochets. Made into a popcorn stitch, chain 2, and I'm gonna cut the yarn. Oops. I shouldn't do that, so I should, to be honest. Pull the yarn through. So I'm going actually into the chain 1 of the first chain of the bubble stitch, because I'm overlapping the stitch before, and I'm going back to where I started from and pulling it through. Now I have to work this tail in. So I'm going down the double crochet, cross on the bottom where I have a bit more space to play with, and I'm going up the double crochet, and I can go down into the next one, and across a bit again, and a bit more across, and one more. So this is the end tail done. All I have to hide now is the starting yarn. I always do that something goes onto my piece of paper where I have things nicely stored or put away. So this is now my starting tail. I'm just working it in, trying not to disturb the popcorn stitch a lot, because I still want the puffy look to be shown. Okay, so now I have my flowers done. What I have to do is start with the top edge. So I'm back to my white yarn, and what I'm actually gonna do is just start wherever you want. You go into one of those chain 2 spaces between 2 popcorn stitches. So I go in, I do a slip stitch, a chain 1, and a single crochet only on the red, on the chain 2 of the red yarn. Now I do a single crochet where I'm gonna be grabbing the yarn through red and green, And now another single crochet grabbing just the red yarn. So you kind of get a join that kind of holds the green yarn to the top one. So I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna do a single crochet just into the red chain 2 hole. So here's a single crochet. Now I'm gonna do another single crochet, but this time I'm going into the green one and grabbing a red and green, and the next one is just grabbing the red one and doing a single crochet. So in each of those chains 2 you actually do 3 stitches. You do a single crochet over the red only, a single crochet over 2 rows, and a single crochet over the red only again. So single crochet, another single crochet grabbing 2 rows, and a single crochet over 1 row, a single crochet over 1 row, a single crochet over 2 rows, and a single crochet over 1 row. What that does is, because again I have 3 stitches in each of the 12 spaces, I'm gonna have 36 stitches all together again. So a single crochet in the red one, a single crochet through 2 rows, and a single crochet through 1 row. So 1 row, 2 rows, 1 row, again 1 row, 2 rows, and 1 row, 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 and I have to join it with a slip stitch. Now I'm pulling this slip stitch really tight together. Now all I have to do is these petals on top. You can skip that, you can leave it like that. You can do another row of just 36 single crochets, but I'm gonna be doing this. So I hope you can see. It's just 8 double crochets in the same stitch, and you get this nice leafy petally shape. So I have a single crochet already in. Now I need to do what I have to do is I have to skip 2 stitches. In the third one I need to do 8 single crochets. So not the one that I'm in is currently counting as a slip stitch already. Then I need to skip 2 stitches, and in the third one I need to do 8 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I have to skip 2 stitches, and in the third one I need to do a slip stitch. And the first one is done. Now I need to repeat that 5 more times. So a slip stitch is already done, so now I need 1, 2. In the third one I go in with a double crochet, and I have to do 8 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, in the third one, a slip stitch. 2 done, 4 more to go. 1, 2 in the third one, single crochet, sorry, a double crochet, actually 8 double crochet, so I'm on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2 in the third one, a slip stitch. Half done, half to go. 1, 2, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, skip, and in the third one a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, and now 8 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And now I'm gonna cut the yarn, pull the yarn through, get it on my needle, and I have to join it with the slip stitch here, so I just go in and back from where I started, and I have to pull it really tight together. Now all I have to do is work the tail in, but here I have much more space to work the tail in, so it is easier. Okay, so that's the end tail done. All I have to get rid of now is the starting tail. I'm moving with over the double crochets more into the middle. Just few more stitches, so it's gonna be secured. And I can cut the yarn. Now this is the crocheted basket for an Easter egg, for example. Done. This one was made in pink. This one was also made in red, but the difference between this one and this one is you see the long white single crochets over the 2 rows. Well, this one doesn't have it, and here it just looks much nicer. So this one was the one I was making. This one was a testing one, so I can leave it here aside. For this one, I already made one video tutorial for this one, but something went wrong while transmitting files from one device to the other, so I lost this one, unfortunately, so I had to do it again. And I'm actually really pleased that I've done a red one, because I think you can see more the tulips, how they look. Now I am using cotton yarn, and as you can see, the basket does stand on its own, but if you think it's not stiff or firm enough, you can definitely use either sugar dissolved in water and block it just to make it even more sturdy, and it won't go anywhere. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed all the instructions. If there was something not clear, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed the things that were popping up here in the corner, perhaps with the diagrams or just the written pattern out. If you would like to see more of those kind of things, do let me know, so I will know for the future where to pay more attention to. I hope the basket will come in handy. Don't forget, it is really resizable. You can make smaller ones, you can make larger ones. And until the next time, I'm gonna say happy crafting!